This is big breaking emergency news. The United States is under a major attack right now, and U.S. ports, airports, and seaports have now been shut down. Right, this is happening currently inside Washington and on the West Coast. They are experiencing this shutdown of major airports and major seaports. Right, we are seeing shutdowns of the supply chain. We're seeing shutdowns of flights. Right, this is all happening right now, Saturday night and Sunday morning. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on all those big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get into the details here. This is currently happening at the port of Seattle and at the Seattle Tacoma International Airport, SeaTac. Right, that's what they call it. So the port of Seattle, a major port for the West Coast, is now being shut down. They're having their operations taken offline, and they're saying that it's due to a, quote, possible cyber attack. Right, that is what's being reported right now for the West Coast, and we could potentially see this hit more ports and airports on the West Coast as well. It's also being reported that Seattle Tacoma International Airport is experiencing, quote, internet and web system outages as well. And they're attributing this to a cyber attack too. So they're saying that this is a joint coordinated attack on the port, on the seaport, and the airport. All right, they're saying that this is a coordinated attack, and it's even taken their websites offline as well too, right? And it says SeaTac is asking travelers to directly check with their airline for the latest travel information and allow extra time to get to sea and to your gate. Right, so major shutdowns are happening. People are stranded at the airports. People are just piling up. Right, more people keep showing up for their flights, and they're being canceled or rearranged, and there's massive lines happening at the Seattle Tacoma Airport right now. Right, and they've put out this travel alert, or traveler alert, I should say. This is what it says from the Port of Seattle. It says, the Port of Seattle, including the SEA Airport, is experiencing an internet and web system outage, which is impacting some systems at the airport. It says passengers are encouraged to check with their airlines for latest information for their flights. And the Port of Seattle has yet to disclose the scale of the cyber attack and when their systems will be fully functional again, but they are putting out reports saying that their phone lines and their operating lines are all done. They're all out right now, and they're putting out alternative numbers to call to reach the Port of Seattle and to reach maritime facilities. All right, that's what they're warning of right now. And they're saying on their X Twitter account, they're saying the Port of Seattle maritime facilities phone systems are down as part of a system-wide outage, and they're warning for urgent matters to call these alternative numbers. They're saying call recreational boating or the VHF channel 17, or call the Fisherman's Terminal, Bell Hall, or the Marine Maintenance, okay? Because they're saying this is part of a system-wide outage they're experiencing right now, right? So this is big. The TSA is saying that they're aware of it too, and they're responding. It says the TSA is aware of the outage at the Port of Seattle's internet service and is working with its partners at the port. There is no impact to TSA's operation at the security checkpoints, and TSA continues to screen passengers using its robust procedures. Passengers should check with their airlines for information on their flights. Right, so they keep diverting it to the airlines because they're going to have to figure out all the rescheduling. Right, most likely people at these airports are going to be stuck for a little while they figure it out. They said that they're trying to do things by hand right now. Right, they're doing it the old school way by pen and paper, entering it by hand, but that's drastically slowing things down. Right, there's people are saying that there are thousands of people lining up at the airport just out into the out the door. All right, there's so many people there because it's taking so long to process every single person and manually check everyone. Normally it's just you're scanning barcodes and checking IDs really quick and things like that. Now they have to enter all the information in manually, right? So this is causing major flight disruptions and delays, and flights might just be canceled here for a few days. They might just be mostly diverted. If you're trying to fly into here, you might be okay, right? They might be able to process you because you're just going in. But if you're going out, if you're leaving out of this airport, things might be shut down for a few days. You might not catch your flight. People are saying they even knew about this outage last night and they're showing up to the airport this morning, and they showed up 3 hours early and they still are waiting in line and they haven't been processed, right? That's what's being reported here. So this is a major hit, a major attack on our US ports and our US seaports and airports, all right? And I just reported on yesterday what happened in Russia. Okay, there was a major attack on a Russian seaport as well in southern Russia, one of their main fuel depot seaports that they use to export and import fuel goods. It has rail lines going right to it and major fuel storage facilities there. And that was just destroyed, right? In the past 72 hours, destroyed. Okay. We've also had an attack on a ammo depot in Russia as well, completely destroyed and wiped out in the last 48 to 72 hours. And then now we're seeing these major cyber attacks inside the US. Okay, so we might not see a lot of kinetic warfare like that happening inside the US yet. Hopefully we never see that, all right? But we could potentially see ramped up cyber attacks and cyber threats like this targeting critical infrastructure, right? This actually happened a few months ago as well too. I can't remember which airport it was. It was an airport in California. I think it was Sacramento, right? It was Sacramento or Oakland. It's one of those airports. And they were shut down from the cables being cut. All right, somebody cut the cables, one of their main internet cables, their fiber optic cables going to the port, the airport, and they were shut down for days too, right? Major flight disruptions. What's going on here? All right, and they're even admitting that this is a quote possible cyber attack. A lot of times they are very tight-lipped and they won't admit. They'll just say it's a glitch or technical issues, things like that. Because a lot of times when they admit it's a cyber attack, it then becomes a liability potentially for them, right? So we could even see the National Guard deployed for this to help clear this up, because this is critical infrastructure. It needs cleared up as soon as possible. And they just did this in Ohio as well too. Last week in Ohio, the city of Columbus is under a major cyber attack as well, and they are locked out of a lot of their systems, and they are worried that most people's information has been compromised. All right, anyone that has any type of accounts or anything or information that they've sent to the city, they're worried that has been compromised as well. Court records are locked out. All right, water systems like payment systems for the government, trash systems have been locked out and disrupted. This is happening in Columbus, Ohio right now. And just last week, I reported on the governor sent the National Guard there to clear this up, to get this ransomware attack off of their systems. Okay, so these things are happening. We just had a major warning from a top National Guard commander as well, a top Virginia National Guard commander. I made a whole video on it a couple days ago. He was warning that if it's not if, but when we're going to see stuff like this happen in the US, right? And it's happening right now. So just make sure you guys are prepared and ready to go. All right, they're sending out these letters through the Air Force warning their families to be prepared, right, for major events to happen, catastrophic events, right? We're seeing a lot of activity happen right now, right? So just make sure you're ready, preemptively prepared, stocked up. Please hit it up for me down there, guys. It helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. Let me know if you're in the area, if you're in Washington, or if you're in Tacoma or Seattle, or you're trying to get out of this area. Let me know if you are being affected down below, what's going on with you, and if you have any boots on the ground information of what's happening here, because people are saying they've been trapped there for hours and hours, right? And they've missed their flight because they've waited so long to be processed, and then they just have to reschedule their flight, and they're stuck in this like loop of being stuck here, right? And that's one of the most stressful things to deal with when you're traveling. You have this plan, it's already all this work to travel, move around, and you have this plan, right? You're ready to do it, and then the plan's disrupted. That's the worst, right? I've traveled across the country in my RV before, right, with my family, and anything could happen. Tire blowouts, right? Bank accounts getting locked because you're like out of state. You got to call, right? Anything like this could happen. So make sure you guys are prepared and ready. Let me know down below if you have any boots on the ground info. I appreciate that. And it's also being reported there as well too at the airport that there's no phone service. Okay, so there's no Wi-Fi, there's no internet, so nobody can use any of the Wi-Fi, right? So everyone is using phone service right now. Even the employees, everyone's using their phone, hotspotting, trying to get what little internet is left there. And it's also overwhelming the phone systems, okay? Because there's thousands of people all jammed into one spot. If you've ever been to like a concert or event or something like that, where there's a lot of people around jammed in here, the phones don't work, okay? Because it's like a pie, right? The signal is like a pie, your phone signal, and it's sliced up into how many different people are trying to connect to the network, right, to the tower. And if there are, 1,000 people instead of 100 people trying to connect to this tower at the same time, your slice of the pie is going to be a lot smaller, and your phone is not going to work. Your internet speeds are going to be really slow, right? So that's also what's being reported at the airport right now too, is that nobody can even use their phone to check to see what's going on. So it's a disaster there right now, right? There's no Wi-Fi, phone signal's not working. You think, oh, I have my phone, it'll still work. It's not working for most people right now at the airport too. So something to think about. And just in general, guys, make sure you have satellite internet, have backup forms. All right, we have mobile internet and hotspots, but we also have satellite internet as well too, right? Just in case one of these systems go offline, you have redundancy and you have backups, right? And satellite is probably going to be one of the last things that are still online in an emergency like this, right? So thank you guys. I hope you guys have big blessings for your life, your family. Hope you're getting prepared, staying safe, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.